Hi, and welcome to Sandbach, low budget news. Yes, low budget. Today, our top story, how Revenge the film challenges the conventions of horror. Firstly, let's start with the victim. Normal victims in horror films, such as Michael Myers, Leatherface, Freddy Krueger, Hannibal Lecter, or even Ghostface, are all traditionally quite big built, type people that look just don't die, butch men, However, in the Revenge film, they've sort of tipped it on its head a bit, and they've gone with a small, petite build of a quite small, reclusive person, the type of kid that gets bullied every day at school, who's hated by the popular kids because he doesn't fit in. He's different from society, and most people always are scared of what's different. So therefore, their killer challenges the conventions as he has quite unorthodox feel about himself, represented through his tweed blazer, because you wouldn't really associate a villain to have tweed, posh, blazer. Would not associate that with old people. However, they also tried to show the weirdness about him. How he wears a suit. The suit kind of represents, quite differently towards the traditional dungarees or overalls or scruffy clothes. Now, moving on to the stereotypical victim. They have kept the traditional, small, vulnerable, popular, attractive, very attractive lady within their piece. Blonde hair, again, a symbol for most victims. Quite naive to walk down a dark tunnel alone when there's a serial killer on the loose. Then going on to how she would be popular within school, having bullied the villain. Therefore, kind of gives him an insight of why she would want to be killed. Our weapon within the film, it moves on quite well. It links into most films as it's a knife. Most horror films choose a knife because it's a weapon that is up close and personal. It's more dramatic to see someone stabbed than to see someone shot or blown up by a tank. But it's also a lot more gory and gruesome. So many people having their insides ripped out, sprayed all over the walls. But other than that, moving on, as we are low budget and have not a lot of time, I'm just going to talk to you briefly about the scenery that we chose. We found this tunnel that we thought would be a great idea because it was in the middle of nowhere between some cornfields, quite lonely and dark, but had the perfect lighting for the set. So therefore, it just worked brilliantly together. Having her fall and trip on something and bashing her knee and scraping it and nearly dying. Well, she does die because she gets stabbed. But other than that, we'll go over to Matthew in the upgraded suite. Unfortunately, I'm stuck here. Now, over to you, Matthew.
Thank you, Kyle. And this is about technologies, the other story in our news section today. So over the technologies that we learned over the course, we learned how to use digital cameras, microphones, lighting and editing resources. These technologies were completely new to us. We had never used stuff like this before, and we needed to learn quickly how to use them to create a preliminary task, and then obviously go on to make our AS Media Studies actual 2-minute opening. With these equipment we had, they were not industry standard. The camera we had was handheld, so there's a lot of unstable shots, and we didn't have access to a tripod at the time. And then we also had the basic editing software, that we got given to by our teachers at our course, and we used that for our preliminary task. But we decided that we were going to advance on this technology to a new software for editing. We didn't have to purchase this software. However, we thought that VideoPad was an excellent software. It allowed us to create good effects, create transactions, and add an unlimited amount of sound clips to our 2-minute clip. So we decided that VideoPad was going to be used for everything, not only our 2-minute clip, but our evaluation video, our character profile video, all our videos, just because it was such good software. With the lighting available to us, obviously we didn't, because we're only a college, we didn't have access to big industrial lighting, so we had to settle for what was our natural lighting. Luckily for us, in our set, the lighting there was suitable for us and it created a good atmosphere and no dark and eerie. So anyway, that was the technology we used. And now, over to Harry Robinson with more breaking news.
Hello, I'm Harry Robinson for Sandbach International News, and today I'm going to talk to you about social groups. We can see our victim is, of course, a very pretty girl, blonde, nice figure, and obviously she is the obvious victim. And then we, of course, have our killer. He is what you would not see as the average person. He wears a blazer which kind of separates him from the rest of the group. He has a red tie that stands out quite well, almost like mine, as you see here, but we had to keep the continuity going in our film, unlike this one. And we're back, and now we see that our killer also is very reclusive, not quite with other people. He was bullied, very lonely, so we kind of see he's separated from the group. We can also maybe see a hint of schizophrenia, the way he's got two kind of mind zones, and that kind of separates him again from society, makes him different, and obviously makes him a target, and therefore gives him the opportunity to become the killer. Boom.
Breaking news about audience within the media. The film Revenge, its main audience is 12, we thought would be a good age for the audience, but it's also mainly at males, because, you know, it's got more scary men, brutal, strong, passionate people. It's not too gory or sexually explicit like most 18 horrors, so therefore, even a 15 horror, so therefore it's right for its age. Also, it makes 12-year-old boys want to watch it, because it's a horror, but it's within their age limit, so it makes them really want to watch it and, you know, feel brave and go talk to their mates and stuff. But mainly, it can attract females actually. Like, females like to have a good scare, but otherwise it's young teenagers who are keen to watch horror films and take an interest within them. Now over to Matt to talk about the media institution and the distribution of our product. Over to you, Matt.
Thank you very much, Cam. So, our product, as it is a low-budget product, we're expecting a small company to take over our film distribution. We will be using a small company, maybe like Film 4, to attract a UK audience. If our film was a large budget audience, we'd probably use one of the big ones like United International Pictures, Warner Brothers, Buena Vista, and 20th Century Fox and Sony. We'd probably use one of them if we were a big budget film and we needed to track a worldwide audience. However, in most cases, those private distributors are linked to Hollywood films, and clearly Sandbach isn't Hollywood. So to deal with this, we're going to have to go for a low budget distributor, and hopefully make sure we got our film that attracts the correct audience that we're targeting, and we're going to distribute and advertise towards that audience, and to get the best people coming to the box office as we can. As well, our poster and other forms of advertisement like trailers and stuff like that are used as techniques for distribution. They will be used and put on different areas, because maybe if we're attracting teenagers, we'll have posters on buses and trailers on TV shows that attract teenagers, for example Skins or Big Bang Theory, stuff like that. And so that's how we would distribute our product. And so now over to sport with Harry Robinson.
Good evening, sports fans, and we have got a world exclusive for you. I have been in touch with Charlton FC, and they have told me how to create and bring in the perfect target audience. They said to me the first thing was, get your poster done well. And I was thinking maybe simplistic, intriguing, draws the audience in, makes them think, what's this film about, who does it involve, who gets killed. Second thing is trailers. You've got to have a good trailer to bring in your audience. Has to have a bit of suspense, a little bit of tension, has to bring them in and grip them and keep hold of them. Next we have promotions. This is the third thing on our list. This is where you bring in things to entice your audience again. So give them offers that no one else supplies them with. We were thinking maybe a Love Film subscription, maybe a Happy Meal if you like, a bit of food after your cinema, you know what I mean. Fourth thing we had on our list was offers. We know you students like a good offer, so we were thinking Orange Wednesdays, 2 for 1. That's bang up your street, isn't it, boys? Come on, we know it.
And now here's Kyle with the weather.
Thank you, Matthew. With the weather, basically in media terms, how we've come along over the course. We start off quite grey and unexperienced with the technology and the stuff that we were using. For our preliminary task, we started with basic little handheld, not very high resolution cameras, which were alright. They did do the job, but they were basic because we didn't really have a clue what we were doing. But once we had a chance to edit and play around, we got a professional from ITV, Mr. Mace, to come and help us, show us how to edit the work and show us what to do. He got us on Adobe Movie Maker, which is the basic software that our school uses for AS Media. And he showed us how to cut and paste rushes, how to mess around, add effects, take effects out, slow it down, all the everything that he thought that we would need to make a successful media piece. He also showed us how to do vlogs and how to update our blogs, how to add stuff in, make it interesting. But then what we also did is we went away and bought a more better advanced software called VideoPad, which enabled us to do a lot more things with it, be more creative, able to add multiple sounds over a certain piece of our intro, if you like, which really helped us a bit because we didn't really like how the Adobe Media worked, because you can only put certain pieces on, over the top of your piece. Then moving down onto when we were getting quite advanced and quite well known and experienced with the stuff, things became a lot easier. We were able to do more stuff with it, add better effects, change the timings a bit, slow things down. They really started to come together and have real good fun with it. Then I guess moving towards the end of things, about pulling it together, editing it, tidying up a bit. It was hard, but eventually, we had so many troubles with people saying that our continuity was wrong, that some pieces were breaking the suspense. So we used the timings on our thing to try and slow down the piece and try and buffer it out, but we took bits out, added them in other places which we found worked well. But all in all, it became a piece that we were proud of and we really liked, and we really enjoyed playing around with the software, and it was something new. And with software becoming a new thing in the future, it's nice to get to know how to use them and get an inside scoop of how technology is changing, because I didn't know when I first started the course how to use most of the stuff I do, but I do now. So it was really fun over the year, and over to Matthew back in the studio.